All right, so we are at Rosedale here. We're with Freddie Myles, Director of Operations. How are we doing today, Freddie?
Oh, we're pretty good.
Good, good. So we're going to talk a little bit about city driving. So are you the one that's in charge of the city drivers here?
Not directly, indirectly, but the city department reports, they're under my umbrella.
Oh.
So that manager in the line haul and, the managers in the terminals report to me directly. So.
Right. So tell us about Rosedale. As far as a city operation goes, what kind of freight do you haul? Where would a city driver go? Or?
Our freight pretty much, for the most part, we deliver to the outskirts, out of this branch in particular in Mississauga, as far as Niagara Falls, Hamilton, Brantford, Guelph, as far as North Bay and Sudbury, and to the east, Bowmanville, Oshawa, Pickering, and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. Is it the kind of operation where it's pickup and delivery, or is it three loads a day, or what kind of operation?
No, we vary. So our range. For the majority of our stuff, 70+% of our freight is LTL. So you could have anywhere from 5 to 15 stops on average as a pedal, and we also do truckloads. And majority of the truckloads that we harness or we deal with are loads that come from the city department on backhaul. So the transition from line haul to city, and then vice versa. City will pick up truckloads for line haul to get head haul to go to PA or such, right?
Okay, cool. So there's all kinds of different ways to do it. So now, what kind of do they have steady hours? If a driver comes on with you, what's their hours look like through a day? 5 a.m. till 5 a.m.
Yeah, we have guys that start now. The majority of the work early morning is appointment freight and it's truckload related. It's not pedals, because customers generally don't open until about 8 o'clock in the morning for LTL deliveries. But we also have full-time positions that start at 5, they start at 7, they start at 8, 9, 11. And we have afternoon positions where we accommodate a dedicated account, Home Depot, and we have about 7 or 8 to 10 pedals depending on volumes at night. So we have that, and that works into people's schedules, because a lot of the drivers that we do have on afternoons, they like to be home in the morning, take their son or daughter to school in the morning, and then pick them up after school, and then come in and work for the afternoon shift.
Okay, so you have different shifts available?
Different shifts available, yeah. And we don't really play too much. It's pretty much 70% static. If you're an 8 o'clock start, you're pretty much 8 o'clock.
Right.
But pending your area, because we have guys that go like the Rexdale driver or the Concord driver or the Brantford driver, if we have a special that's running with a customer to say, we need you to be out in Brantford for 0700 a.m. delivery, that driver will probably know the customer already, because we'll go there 70% of the time, and we'll bring him in a little bit earlier to make sure that we meet the needs of the customer.
Okay, that's great. So what kind of driver are you looking for? Because I've done LTL, I've done the pedal deliveries, and you have to be very organized. To be successful at pick up and delivery, you have to actually know how to pick up and deliver. So what type of drivers are you looking for?
So when you get your load in the morning, you scan through your bills. You look through, we give your load on a handheld, so where we can track customer service and everyone else can go through the system and follow a driver. It's not to micromanage the driver. It's just to make sure, because we have customers that are saying, and we have customers that track online. So for the most part, what we're looking for in a driver really is he can manage his time on the road. We don't like to micromanage him. And at the same time, he's respectful. He's the frontline salesman for the organization. So when he goes into a customer, he's presentable, cosmetically, the whole thing. And at the other part, he has a good working relationship with his customers. Again, 70% of our guys go out on the same runs. So we want that relationship, because it's feedback, right? Good, bad, indifferent. So it's important to our organization.
How much of the city job is customer service? Because as drivers, especially coming out of a school, right? It's all about, if you can back into the dock, you're good. If you can drive, you're good. But there's much more to it.
The nuts and bolts of the job, that's a skill set. But the actual people part of the job is what. People come in and they don't necessarily have that full scope. But at the time you're here for X amount of time, you understand our organization and how we work internally and how we want representation. So guys grow with that. They understand. It's not just, hey, this is what we're saying we want you to do. They develop, everybody has their own way, but that organizational and that frontline representation and how they present themselves, they're the ones that have to develop, right? So it's very critical.
Do you help them with that? If I'm a new driver and I come out from a school,
Yep.
and I know what a truck is, but that's about it. So where do you take me from there?
So if you come out of school, we have a 6-week training program. Okay. We make sure that you go through this, and we put you out with coaches. I think we have 12 coaches here. We have 2 driver trainers. And what we do is we walk you through the steps, and because the toughest job of the nuts and bolts part is the backing up part. Right, yeah. And if you're on a pedal, it's difficult. But in most cases, if not all cases, we started guys with like if you're a 3/8, you're a 3/8. I'm a 1-inch, right? It's sort of the thing that we give this to you, so you'd be more of a pin-to-pin guy, and that's the truckload work. Okay. Until you get familiar with how the system works, and you have more backup time, right? So we're not going to stretch you and say, here's a 15 pedal, and then you got to do pickups. It's difficult. Yeah. Especially in today's world, and more so the GTA with traffic and congestion. Yeah. It's difficult for anybody on the road, right?
Do your pickup and delivery drivers, do they like go out and do all the deliveries and then come back and do all the pickups, or do they each have a separate route?
Yeah, they for the most part, we don't like to stretch them too far, because then you're talking from what's my perspective cost. Yeah. You want them in a zone. It's like the Dempster Bread Man. Yeah. He has this area, he delivers in this area, and we route the bills and the runs will go accordingly. Like if we want the gentleman to come back, or the lady driver to come back this way to start pickups, we'll start at the far end, come this way, or vice versa, depending. But a lot of customers have, not set times, they get familiar with this driver's usually here about 9:30, sometimes a little bit earlier.